The stars shone like diamonds in the black velvet of space. But for Captain Elias Ward, they were nothing more than distant points of light, indifferent to the struggles of mortals. He stood on the bridge of the USS Blackstar, the largest warship humanity had ever built, and looked at the endless void. This ship was more than a vessel. It was a statement, a warning, and a promise. Humanity had waited quietly for centuries, preparing, hiding, while the galaxy above them descended into chaos. Elias's eyes scanned the control panels, glowing softly in the dim light. The Blackstar hummed quietly, its engines ready, its weapons, systems primed. Every inch of the ship had been meticulously designed by human hands, cloaking shields, hypervelocity cannons, energy shields that could withstand the fiercest alien fire, all working in perfect harmony. Humanity had given everything to build this ship, and now, finally, it would see action. "Captain," said Lieutenant Mira Kellen, the Blackstar's tactical officer, her voice steady but tinged with excitement. "All systems are green. Weapons, calibrated. Cloaking field is holding steady. We're ready for deployment." Elias nodded. "Good. Keep the engines warm. The moment we leave the jump point, everything changes. The galaxy isn't ready for us yet, but it will be." His voice carried the weight of command, calm but firm, echoing through the bridge. Mira glanced at him, a hint of awe in her eyes. "It's strange, isn't it? After all the years of hiding, we finally get to make our presence known." Elias's jaw tightened. "Strange doesn't begin to cover it. Some will see us as saviors, others as a threat. We can't control that. We can only control ourselves." The crew moved around him like a well-oiled machine. Every human aboard the Blackstar had been chosen for their skill, their courage, their adaptability. No machine could replace the sharp thinking, the quick decisions, and the moral judgment of a human mind. That was their advantage, and it was the reason the Blackstar could face fleets 10 times its size and survive. Outside the ship, a small colony planet orbited a sun, its surface glowing faintly in the starlight. A distress signal had reached Earth Command only hours ago. The colony was under attack from the Z-Trax Collective, a coalition of alien species bent on expansion and domination. Entire civilizations had already fallen to them. Humanity had stayed hidden, watching, learning. But the time had come to act. "Captain," came a voice from communications. "The signal is confirmed. The colony is in critical condition. Defense systems are offline. Civilians are evacuating, but they won't hold for long." Elias's eyes narrowed. "Plot a course. We're going in. Maximum jump speed. We hit them fast, hit them hard, and leave nothing for them to retaliate with." Mira hesitated for a moment, her fingers hovering over the console. "Captain, the Council might not approve this. They've warned us not to interfere directly." Elias's gaze hardened. "Approval is for those who wait for permission to act. Humanity doesn't wait. Humanity acts. Prepare the jump." The Blackstar shuddered as its engines activated. The stars outside stretched into long streaks of light, and then space itself seemed to fold. In a heartbeat, they were gone, leaving, behind the known galaxy and entering the war zone that few humans had ever seen firsthand. The bridge fell silent for a moment, each crew member absorbing the magnitude of what they were about to do. They were about to enter a war that had consumed hundreds of planets. The Z-Trax Collective was ruthless, efficient, and relentless. Entire fleets of their ships moved like swarms, crushing anything in their path. But the humans aboard the Blackstar were not afraid. Fear was natural, but courage was a choice, and they had chosen courage. "Approaching the colony system," Mira reported. "No enemy ships detected yet. Sensors indicate mass panic on the surface. Civilians are attempting evacuation, but their defenses are offline." Elias leaned forward. "Activate the cloaking field. I want us invisible until the moment we strike. We cannot give them time to regroup." The hum of the cloaking field, enveloped the ship, and the Blackstar vanished from all sensors. It became a shadow, a phantom waiting to strike. The humans worked quickly, each performing their task with precision, knowing that every second mattered. "Captain," said Commander Jarek, the Blackstar's weapons officer, "the main cannons are ready. The experimental plasma torpedoes are charged. We can make this system uninhabitable for any attackers, but we need to be careful. There are still civilians." Elias nodded. "We're not here to destroy the planet. We're here to destroy the Zytrax presence. Precision only. Show them what humanity can do without taking innocent lives." The Blackstar emerged from its cloaking shadow above the colony. Below, Zytrax ships were already attacking. Their sleek, metallic bodies glinted in the light of the nearby sun. Hundreds of smaller vessels swarmed the orbit, firing indiscriminately. The humans could see the panic on the colony's surface, the evacuation ships leaving hurriedly, and the chaos spreading. "Target the command ships first," Elias ordered. "Disable them. Disable communications. Disable their ability to coordinate. Leave the rest to panic." The Blackstar's weapons roared to life. Plasma torpedoes streaked through space, striking Zytrax command ships with surgical precision. Explosions blossomed across the fleet like violent fireworks. Alien pilots had never faced such accuracy, such sudden, overwhelming power. They tried to counterattack, but the Blackstar moved like a phantom, evading every shot with impossible speed. Mira's hands flew across her console. "They're confused. They can't lock on. They don't know where we are." Elias allowed himself a small smile. "Good. Let them taste fear. Let them learn that humans are not to be underestimated." Below, the colony's inhabitants watched from evacuation ships. For the first time in years, they saw humans not as distant legends, but as saviors. The Blackstar struck with a precision that left the Zytrax fleets broken, and the humans aboard remained untouched. It was a demonstration of everything humanity had prepared for: ingenuity, strategy, courage. As the last Zytrax command ship exploded, Elias looked out at the battlefield. "Hold position. Let them see what we are. Let the survivors understand the cost of underestimating humanity." The crew worked efficiently, sending rescue shuttles down to the colony, guiding civilians to safety, and ensuring no human was left behind. Every human life mattered. That was a lesson the Zytrax could never understand. Hours later, the system was calm. The Zytrax survivors fled into deep space, their communications jammed and their fleets scattered. The humans had made their statement. The Blackstar had entered the war, and nothing would be the same. Elias stood alone on the bridge, looking out at the stars once more. He knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy would now notice humanity, and some would fear them, some would worship them, but all would know they were here. The Blackstar was more than a warship. It was a symbol of human determination, human skill, and human courage. "Mira," he said quietly, "set course for the next system. We don't wait. We move. Humanity has a long way to go, and the galaxy is full of enemies who think they can ignore us." "Yes, Captain," she replied, a spark of excitement in her eyes. "Let's show them what humans can do." The stars streaked past as the USS Blackstar raced through space, carrying its human crew toward the next system under Zytrax control. Captain Elias Ward stood on the bridge, his eyes calm but alert. Every mission taught him that war was never predictable, and every moment demanded focus. The first system they liberated had been a success, but this was only the beginning. The Zytrax Collective would not forget humanity's sudden appearance, and they would retaliate. Lieutenant Mira Kellen, tactical officer, monitored the scanners, her fingers moving quickly over the glowing console. "Captain, we are entering Zytrax territory. Sensors show a fleet of approximately 200 ships. They are heavily armed and moving toward the outer colonies." Elias nodded. 200 ships. That's manageable. Prepare the crew. I want every system at peak performance. Weapons, shields, and engines, everything. Commander Jarek, the weapons officer, leaned forward. Captain, the main cannons are ready, but their fleet formation is tight. A frontal assault could be risky. We need to find a weakness. Elias's gaze swept across the holographic projection of the Zytrax fleet. Their formation was a classic trap, designed to lure prey into the center. But humans did not fight like prey. Flank them, he ordered. Divide their attention. Use stealth and speed. We strike where they least expect it. Mira's eyes widened slightly. You want to go invisible and split our fleet against 200 ships? That's bold. Elias gave a small, confident smile. It's human bold. That's what they don't understand. Prepare the cloaking field. We go in now. The Blackstar disappeared from all sensors once again. The Zytrax fleet, confident and arrogant, advanced toward the outer colonies, expecting no resistance. But in the darkness of space, the humans waited, patient and ready. Captain, we're in position, Mira reported. They are approaching the first colony. Their defenses are already under pressure from panic on the surface. Elias's hands rested lightly on the rail. Good. Target the leading ships. Disable their command links first. I want them blind and disorganized before they realize we are here. The Blackstar struck. Plasma torpedoes streaked silently through space, hitting Zytrax command ships with precision. Explosions blossomed in the void, tearing apart enemy coordination. The rest of the fleet reacted too slowly. Humans had calculated every move, every angle. The cloaking field allowed them to strike and vanish before the Zytrax could retaliate. Mira's voice was tight with excitement. They don't know where we are. They're firing blindly into space. Elias allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction. Let them panic. Fear is powerful. Use it. The Zytrax fleet was now in chaos. Ships collided in space, weapons fired at empty shadows, and communication links failed. The humans exploited every moment. Smaller boarding ships were launched to disable critical enemy systems without destroying entire vessels. Human ingenuity shone as engineers rerouted power mid-battle, allowing the Blackstar to maintain a constant offensive while remaining nearly untouchable. Captain, we've cleared the first wave, Jarek reported. The rest of their fleet is retreating toward the inner system. Elias shook his head. No, we follow. We hit every target. We show them that humans are not an enemy to be underestimated. We hit with precision, and we hit with purpose. Prepare the secondary plasma. Cannons! The Blackstar accelerated. Hypervelocity engines pushed the ship past what many believed was possible, and the crew felt the familiar thrill of controlled power. They emerged near the inner system, where Zytrax reinforcements were waiting. Hundreds of ships lined up, confident in their superiority. They did not see the humans approaching, cloaked and silent. Captain, Mira said, her voice tense. The reinforcements are heavier than we expected. They outnumber us nearly 10-1. Elias's jaw tightened. Numbers mean nothing when the mind is faster than the gun. Focus on their leaders. The moment we take them down, the rest will falter. Divide and conquer. That's human strategy. The Blackstar launched its secondary wave. Torpedoes struck the fleet's center, targeting command ships. Alien commanders were killed instantly, leaving their fleets leaderless. Panic spread quickly. Some ships attempted to escape, while others fired blindly, wasting energy and ammunition. On the bridge, the crew moved with precision. Each human knew their role and trusted the others implicitly. Engineers manipulated shields in real time, diverting energy from weapons to protection when necessary. Tactical officers coordinated strikes faster than any Zytrax computer could calculate. The Blackstar was not just a warship. It was the culmination of human planning, human courage, and human ingenuity. Captain, Mira said, pointing to the holographic display, we've created an opening. Their fleet is scattering. We can take out the remaining vessels if we push forward now. Elias nodded. Do it. But remember, civilians are still evacuating the planet. Precision only. We destroy the Zytrax, not the innocents. The Blackstar advanced, striking with unmatched speed and accuracy. Torpedoes and energy blasts tore through the remaining ships. Each explosion was calculated, each strike surgical. Humanity's reputation spread through the galaxy with each victory, though no one yet fully understood the humans' potential. Meanwhile, below, the colonies watched from evacuation ships. Humans had arrived when no one else would. The Blackstar was not just a weapon, it was hope. Civilians cheered in awe and relief as the Z-Tracks were driven back. Many wept, realizing that humans had been hiding in the shadows for centuries, preparing for this exact moment. On the bridge, Elias watched the last Z-Trax ships retreat. "Hold position," he said. "Let them see what we are. Let them learn that humans fight differently. We do not merely attack. We outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast." Hours passed as the Blackstar ensured no Zytrax vessel remained capable of returning to the colonies. Rescue teams were sent to recover civilians, and engineers repaired the system's critical infrastructure. Humanity's mission was not only to strike, but also to save, to show the galaxy that humans valued life as much as victory. Commander Jarek leaned against the console, exhausted but satisfied. "Captain, they'll never forget this. Every fleet they've lost, every planet we've liberated, they'll remember the Blackstar." Elias's expression was solemn. "And they will fear us. Fear is not always bad. It teaches respect. But we must never let fear guide us. Humanity fights for life, not domination. Remember that." Mira approached, her voice quieter now. "Captain, the crew, they've done something incredible today. We've faced impossible odds and not a single human life was lost." Elias nodded, allowing himself a moment of pride. "That's what makes humans different. Courage, ingenuity, and heart. Machines can fight, weapons can destroy, but humans adapt. Humans survive. Humans win." As the Blackstar prepared to leave the system, the stars stretched again into streaks of light, carrying the humans toward the next battle. The galaxy was watching. Reports of the Blackstar's attacks were spreading like wildfire, striking fear into alien fleets and inspiring hope in oppressed planets. Humanity had stepped onto the galactic stage, and nothing would ever be the same. "Set course for the next system," Elias ordered. "We move fast. We strike hard. The Zytrax will learn a lesson they won't forget." The Blackstar accelerated, a shadow of human determination moving through the stars. Its wake was a message. Humanity had entered the war, and nothing would survive its strike unless it understood the strength and mind of humans. The crew worked silently but with pride, knowing that this was only the beginning. Ahead lay more battles, more challenges, and more opportunities to show the galaxy that humans were unlike any species it had ever seen. The first strike had been a warning, a glimpse of what was to come. Elias stood alone on the bridge for a moment, staring at the endless stars. "This is just the beginning," he whispered. "The galaxy thinks it knows war. It has no idea what is coming." The USS Blackstar sailed through the dark expanse of space, its hull glinting faintly under distant stars. The humans aboard had grown accustomed to tension and danger, but Captain Elias Ward knew that the real test was yet to come. Every victory so far had been calculated, precise, and controlled. Now, the Zytrax Collective would respond, and they would respond with full force. Lieutenant Mira Kellen leaned over the tactical console, her eyes scanning the incoming sensor reports. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple signatures ahead. They're massive, larger than anything we've faced so far. I think this is the elite fleet, sir." Elias's jaw tightened. The elite fleet was the Zytrax's pride, their deadliest commanders and fastest ships, all in one formation. "How many?" he asked calmly. though his mind raced. Approximately 500 vessels, including 10 command ships. They are fast, heavily armed, and organized. They are heading straight for us, sir. I believe it's an ambush. Elias stared at the display, a calm shadow over his features. An ambush is only dangerous if you fall for it. They think they can surprise us because they outnumber us. That is their first mistake. Commander Jarek, the weapons officer, tapped the console nervously. Captain, we're outnumbered 10-1. Even with our weapons, shields, and cloaking, a direct fight could destroy us. Elias turned toward him, his voice firm but inspiring. Jarek, we have never fought directly. Humans do not fight by numbers alone. We fight with brains, with speed, and with courage. We will turn this ambush into their failure. The Blackstar's crew went to work. Engines roared quietly beneath, the hum of the ship's systems as they activated their cloaking field. Every weapon, shield, and sensor was tuned to perfection. The humans prepared themselves not just for battle, but for a test of wits and strategy. Captain, Mira said, pointing to the tactical display, they've spread out into a pincer formation. If we move forward, they will surround us and crush the outer sections of our ship. Elias's fingers rested on the rail as he studied the holographic projection. We will not move forward. We will split them. We create chaos within their formation. The moment they hesitate, we strike. The Blackstar emerged silently from its cloak, appearing behind the vanguard of the Zytrax elite fleet. Torpedoes fired first, striking the outer command ships with precision. Explosions erupted in the void, but the elite Zytrax were faster. Their formations tighter, their reflexes sharp. They responded immediately, firing back in a deadly coordinated strike. Shields at 70%, Jarek shouted, fingers flying over his console. They've locked onto us! Elias remained, calm. Divert all auxiliary power to the front shields. Evasive maneuvers, maximum speed. Do not panic, do not lose focus. The Blackstar danced through space, twisting, turning, and dodging strikes that could have destroyed lesser ships. The humans aboard moved with perfect coordination, each knowing their role, each anticipating the other's actions. The Zytrax realized, too late, that they were facing something beyond their understanding. Captain, Mira said, voice tense, the command ships are regrouping. They are preparing for a concentrated strike. If we don't act fast, they'll overwhelm us. Elias leaned forward, his gaze sharp. Then we strike first. Launch the secondary wave. Target their engines and command modules. We disable them, not destroy them outright. Leave the rest to panic. Torpedoes streaked through space, striking the Zytrax command ships with surgical accuracy. Engines failed, communications dropped, and the fleet fell into disarray. Ships collided in confusion, firing blindly, wasting ammunition and energy. Panic spread like a virus through the Zytrax forces. Mira's fingers flew across the console. They don't know what's happening. They can't track us. We've disrupted their formation completely. Elias allowed himself a small smile. Good. Keep the pressure. We are not just a ship. We are a human mind in motion. Every move counts. Every strike matters. The Blackstar's smaller attack vessels were deployed next. Humans boarded disabled enemy ships to recover technology and gather intelligence. Each mission was a perfect balance of risk and precision. The crew demonstrated adaptability in real time. Engineers rerouted energy when weapons failed, pilots improvised paths through debris fields, and the tactical team predicted enemy maneuvers before they occurred. Despite their training and skill, the battle was brutal. Explosions lit the void, sending shards of metal and energy tearing through space. The Blackstar shook under heavy fire, and the crew felt the pressure of near-impossible odds. But humans were resilient. Every threat was met with strategy, every challenge with determination. Captain, Jarek said, pointing to the main display, their flagship is targeting us. If it fires its super cannon, it could penetrate our shields and destroy us. Elias nodded. Then we make sure it doesn't fire. Mira, calculate a trajectory that will allow us to flank the flagship. Jarek, focus all energy on disabling its weapons. The humans executed the plan flawlessly. The Blackstar darted around the massive enemy ship, dodging cannon fire and striking weak points with their torpedoes. Explosions rocked the flagship, and its weapons failed one by one. The Zytrax crew panicked, realizing that humans could predict their moves, counter their strategies, and strike where they were weakest. Meanwhile, civilians on nearby colonies watched from a distance. They had never seen such skill, such precision, such control of chaos. The Blackstar was not only fighting, it was teaching the galaxy a new lesson. Humanity was not just strong, it was clever, adaptable, and fearless. Hours passed, and the elite fleet was shattered. Command ships were disabled, smaller vessels either destroyed or retreating, and communication lines had collapsed. The Blackstar remained nearly untouched, its crew alive, alert, and victorious. Humans had turned an ambush into an opportunity, demonstrating that numbers alone could never defeat courage, intelligence, and unity. Elias looked out at the battlefield, his expression calm yet proud. Send a message to the Zytrax survivors. Let them know humanity has arrived. Let them understand that the galaxy has changed. Mira tapped the console. Message sent, Captain. The transmission includes proof of our tactics, our power, and our intent. They will think twice before attacking another human colony. Commander Jarek let out a long breath, exhaustion and relief mixed in his voice. Captain, they underestimated us completely. I don't think they expected humans to fight like this. Elias nodded. They never do. And they never will. Humans are unpredictable, adaptable, and relentless. That is why we survive, why we win. As the Blackstar moved away from the shattered fleet, its cloaking field engaged again. The humans aboard were silent, absorbing the gravity of what they had accomplished. This battle had been more than a victory. It had been a revelation. Humanity was no longer hiding. Humanity was not a minor player in galactic conflicts. Humanity was a force that others could neither ignore nor underestimate. Set course for the next system, Elias ordered, his voice steady. The galaxy is vast, and the Zytrax will regroup. We move fast, strike hard, and continue to show what humans can do. The Blackstar accelerated through the stars, leaving behind a wake of destroyed alien ships and shattered arrogance. Humans aboard were alive, victorious, and more determined than ever. Elias stood alone on the bridge for a moment, staring at the endless darkness. This is only the beginning, he whispered. The galaxy thinks it understands war. It has no idea what is coming. The USS Blackstar moved silently through the starlit void, its dark hull reflecting distant suns. Captain Elias Ward stood on the bridge, observing the galaxy ahead. After the first battles, humanity's presence was no longer a secret. Aliens, across countless systems, whispered of the humans and the unstoppable Blackstar. Some feared them, others admired them, but all were beginning to understand one undeniable truth. Humans were a force unlike any other. Lieutenant Mira Kellen, seated at the tactical console, studied incoming reports. Captain, we are entering the Ganira system. Sensors show Zytrax forces occupying the inner planets. They are reinforcing supply stations and enslaving local populations. Civilian distress signals are strong. They will not last long without intervention. Elias nodded. Then we make it our next target. But remember, Mira, we strike for humanity, not just for victory. Civilians must be protected. Precision over destruction. Commander Jarek, the weapons officer, leaned over the console. Captain, Zytrax defenses here are heavier than before. They expect retaliation after the last defeats. Direct attack might be risky. Elias smiled faintly. Humans never attack directly if we can avoid it. We outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast. Prepare diversion tactics and deploy the stealth. Drones. We make them chase shadows while we strike at their core. The Blackstar split its forces. Small drones and auxiliary craft moving ahead to confuse the Zytrax fleet. Explosions erupted in false patterns, drawing enemy fire while the humans remained hidden. The Blackstar itself stayed cloaked, appearing only when and where it chose. On the bridge, the crew worked with perfect coordination. Each human understood that the smallest mistake could cost lives, but they also knew that every precise move could save thousands. That was their strength, the ability to combine calculation with courage. Mira's voice was sharp. "Captain, the diversion is working. The Z-Tracks are focusing on the decoys. Their fleet is splitting, leaving their command ships exposed." "Good," Elias replied. "We hit the heart. Disable the command vessels first. Chaos will spread faster than fire." Torpedoes and plasma beams streaked through space, striking, with deadly accuracy. One after another, Z-Track's command ships were disabled. Communication networks collapsed, and fleets moved without order. Panic rippled through alien forces like a storm. Below, the planets under Z-Track's occupation began to see change. Evacuation ships moved freely as Zytrax reinforcements failed to coordinate. Human rescue crews deployed shuttles, guiding civilians to safety. Every planet liberated became a testament to human strategy, courage, and moral responsibility. "Captain," Jarek said, pointing to the display, "Zytrax are trying to regroup around the central planet. If they manage to form a blockade, civilians will be trapped." Elias's eyes narrowed. "Then we prevent it. Full cloak disengage. Strike with speed. Precision only. No collateral damage. Humans are here to protect, not to terrorize." Blackstar surged forward, leaving its stealth behind. Alien sensors struggled to lock on. Humans moved like shadows, unpredictable, precise. They disabled Z-Track's blockade ships one by one, cutting engines and weapons without unnecessary destruction. For every vessel disabled, countless lives were saved. Mira smiled faintly. "Captain, they don't understand. Every time they think they've cornered us, we turn the situation. They can't predict humans." Elias's gaze remained calm. "Exactly. That is why humans survive. That is why humans win. Strategy, courage, and adaptability. Never forget it." The battle continued for hours. Explosions lit the void, debris, drifting like sparks across the stars. The Blackstar moved through the chaos, untouchable, its crew in perfect coordination. Boarding teams disabled critical alien technology, freeing enslaved populations from Zytrax control. Engineers repaired damaged colonies even while under fire, showcasing human ingenuity at its finest. Meanwhile, alien civilians watched in awe. Their oppression was ending. Humans, long hidden, had arrived not only to fight, but also to save. The Blackstar was a symbol of hope and fear, a machine of war with a human mind behind it, capable of compassion as well as destruction. "Captain," Mira said, pointing at the tactical display, "Central Command on the main planet is trying to send reinforcements. They are leaving the planet unprotected. We can cut them off and secure the system completely." Elias nodded. "Do it. Take the initiative. Human action is always decisive. Jarek, prepare the final wave." The Blackstar's main cannons roared. Torpedoes and energy beams struck Zytrax command vessels with perfect precision. Ships exploded, leaving the rest of the fleet in confusion. Panic spread quickly. Alien pilots had never faced such coordinated intelligence. Humans were fast, adaptable, and relentless, qualities that no Zytrax algorithm could match. Hours later, the Ganaira system was free. Civilians cheered as rescue ships brought them to safety. Zytrax forces fled or surrendered, their fleets scattered and disorganized. Humanity had turned the tide in this sector of the galaxy. On the Blackstar's bridge, the crew was exhausted but proud. Elias looked at them, pride in his eyes. "You have done well, not just in battle, but in saving lives. That is what makes humans different. That is why we are not just fighters, we are leaders." Mira's voice was soft but confident. "Captain, the galaxy is starting to notice. Reports of the Blackstar's victories are spreading. Other species are talking about us, watching us, wondering what humans are capable of." Elias nodded. "Let them watch, let them fear, let them learn. Humans are unpredictable. Humans are strong. Humans do not act without purpose, but when we do, we act decisively. That is our power." Jarek, still tired from hours of coordination and combat, leaned back. "Captain, they underestimated us again. No fleet can stop us if we continue like this." Elias's expression was calm, but his voice carried conviction. "We do not fight for revenge. We do not fight for fear. We fight for life, for survival, and for justice. Every action we take must reflect that. Remember it, always." The Blackstar prepared to leave the Ganaira system. Sensors indicated that the Zytrax Collective was regrouping in nearby systems, planning counterattacks. But humans did not fear retaliation. They understood that strategy, courage, and teamwork could overcome even the most dangerous enemies. "Set course for the next system," Elias ordered. "We move fast, we strike hard, and we continue to show the galaxy that humans are here to protect and to lead. Every planet liberated, every fleet disabled, every life saved. This is humanity's way." As the USS Blackstar accelerated into the stars, leaving behind liberated systems and scattered alien forces, the crew reflected on their accomplishments. They were humans, resilient, clever, and brave. They had entered a galaxy that underestimated them. And with every strike, every rescue, every strategic move, they were reshaping the balance of power. Elias stood alone on the bridge, looking into the infinite darkness of space. "The galaxy is waking up," he whispered. "They will see humans not as weak or hidden, but as a force that cannot be ignored. And the Blackstar, she will lead the way." The galaxy had begun to change. Word of the USS Blackstar and its human crew spread like wildfire across countless star systems. Some species whispered in fear, others watched with hope. But all knew one truth: humans had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. Captain Elias Ward stood on the bridge of the Blackstar, his eyes focused on the holographic display before him. Sensors were alive with readings of a massive Zytrax fleet, the largest yet. Reports confirmed the worst. The Zytrax Collective had gathered their full might, intent on crushing humanity before it could spread further. Thousands of ships, including their deadliest warships and command vessels, surged toward human-occupied sectors. It was the ultimate test. Lieutenant Mira Kellen glanced nervously at the projections. "Captain, they've outnumbered us 10-1. Entire sectors are falling. Behind them. If we can't stop them here, countless colonies will be lost." Elias's expression remained calm, steady as ever. "Then we stop them. We are humans. We adapt, we strategize, and we survive. Numbers mean nothing if you outthink your enemy." Commander Jarek, the weapons officer, leaned over the console, tension in his shoulders. "Captain, even with the Blackstar's full power, engaging that fleet directly is suicidal. They're bringing their planet crushers, the ones capable of destroying entire worlds." Elias's voice was firm. "Then we don't fight directly. Humans never do. We hit their weaknesses, divide them, confuse them, and strike decisively. Every ship, every life, every second matters. Prepare the crew. This will be our final strike. For now." The Blackstar activated its cloaking field, vanishing from alien sensors. Stealth drones were launched ahead, creating phantom signals across the fleet. Explosions and false movements drew Zytrax fire toward empty space, while the humans prepared their ambush. Every crew member knew their role. Years of training, years of preparation, and the human will combined into one unstoppable force. "Captain," Mira said, pointing at the holographic projection, "they're splitting their fleet to encircle us. It's exactly what they want. If we move straight, we'll be trapped." Elias nodded. "Then we don't move straight. We move unpredictably. We divide their attention, exploit their arrogance. Humans are not predictable. Humans survive because we think faster than our enemies." The Blackstar emerged from cloaking just as the Zytrax flagship fired. Energy blasts lit the void, but the humans dodged with impossible speed. Torpedoes streaked toward alien command ships, striking engines and weapon systems. Panic spread through the Zytrax fleet as their leaders were disabled one by one. "Captain, the flagship is targeting us directly," Jarek shouted. "If it fires its Planet Crusher cannon, the Blackstar could be destroyed in seconds." Elias's eyes were sharp. "Then we prevent it from firing. Full diversion. Split their focus. Jarek, fire everything at its weapons array. Mira, reroute shields to compensate. We are humans. We do not panic." The Blackstar moved with uncanny precision, circling the flagship, firing torpedoes that ripped through weapon systems while leaving the hull intact. The flagship's energy cannon failed, its crew in chaos. Other Zytrax vessels followed there. Crippled command, confusion spreading faster than fire. Below the fleets, human colonies watched in awe. The humans were not only defending worlds, they were leading the war. Every liberated planet added to humanity's legend, every Zytrax ship destroyed or disabled a testament to strategy, courage, and ingenuity. Mira's voice was tight with excitement. "Captain, the rest of their fleet is collapsing. They don't know how to respond. Chaos is spreading everywhere." Elias's smile was small, but resolute. "Good. Humans strike decisively. Humans adapt. We will not stop until the threat is gone. Prepare the final wave. We finish this." The Blackstar's main cannons roared, firing a series of precision strikes that disabled the remaining command ships. Torpedoes carved paths through Zytrax formations, leaving the fleet scattered and leaderless. Alien pilots panicked, firing blindly or attempting to flee. Humans anticipated every move, exploiting every weakness. Meanwhile, boarding crews struck critical enemy vessels, disabling systems, freeing captives, and capturing key technology. Engineers repaired human-occupied stations and ships mid-battle, ensuring civilian safety. Every action was calculated, every decision human. Hours passed in relentless combat. Explosions rocked the void and alien fleets fell apart. The Zytrax Collective had underestimated humans, thinking their numbers and weapons alone could defeat a single ship. They were wrong. Humans combined intelligence, speed, courage, and morality, creating an unpredictable force no algorithm could anticipate. Finally, the last Zytrax flagship exploded, its command systems gone. Remaining ships surrendered or fled, leaving the galaxy silent, at least for a moment. The Blackstar floated among the stars, almost untouched, its crew alive, victorious, and exhausted. Humanity had won the decisive battle. Elias looked at the stars, a mixture of pride and gravity in his eyes. "This is what it means to be human. We fight to survive, yes, but we fight to protect. We fight with courage, intelligence, and heart. That is why we win. That is why humanity leads." Mira leaned back in her chair, exhausted. "Captain, the galaxy, they will never forget this. Every fleet defeated, every planet liberated. They'll know humans are here to stay." Elias nodded. "Let them know. Let them see. Humans do not strike blindly. We strike with purpose. And now the galaxy has learned that lesson. The Blackstar has entered the war, and nothing will survive in its wake that threatens humanity or innocent life. Commander Jarek, still catching his breath, smiled. Captain, the crew. We did it. We faced impossible odds and survived. Humanity is stronger than they imagined. Elias placed a hand on the railing, gazing at the stars. Not stronger, smarter, faster, braver. Humanity has always survived because we adapt. Today, we've shown the galaxy that humans are unstoppable when united, when clever, when determined. That is our gift and our responsibility. The Blackstar prepared to leave the sector. Reports of the battle had already begun spreading to neighboring systems. Aliens who once thought humans were insignificant now saw them as legends. Fear, respect, and awe filled the communications channels. Humans were no longer hidden observers. They were active, decisive, and undefeatable. Set course for the next sector, Elias ordered. We leave behind a warning and a promise. Humans protect life. Humans strike with purpose, and the galaxy will remember it. The crew worked silently but with pride, knowing their efforts had changed the course of history. The Blackstar moved through the stars like a shadow of human ingenuity and courage, leaving behind a wake that no enemy would ever forget. Below, liberated planets celebrated. Colonies rebuilt, freed populations flourished, and messages of gratitude and hope flowed to Earth Command. Humans had entered the galaxy not merely to fight, but to lead, to inspire, and to show that courage and intelligence could overcome even the darkest oppression. Elias stood alone on the bridge for a moment, watching the endless stars. "The war is far from over," he whispered. "The galaxy thinks it knows humans. It has no idea, and when it learns, it will know the full meaning of our strength." And with that, the USS Blackstar vanished into the void once more. Its hull reflected distant suns, its engines hummed with quiet power, and its crew remained steadfast. The galaxy had been changed. Humanity had entered the war, and nothing would survive its wake unless it understood the might, strategy, and courage of humans. The battle was over. Humanity had won. But the story of the Blackstar and the humans who commanded her was only beginning. The galaxy would remember forever. USS Blackstar entered the war, and nothing survived its wake.